Howdy gamers, how's it going? So, a question I get asked a lot, and maybe the question I single-handedly get asked the most, is how do I get started on YouTube? And honestly, it's got a way simpler answer than you might think, and it's kind of similar to my old video, which is advice to zero viewer streamers, where on that one, my advice was to get an audience elsewhere, and it was almost a really shitty answer, but it's the honest one, is that just don't stream, because streaming to zero people is honestly insanely depressing, and there's not very realistic ways for you to actually develop an audience. However, very luckily though, on YouTube, it's the exact opposite. The number one thing I can tell people is just to do it. There is no better advice I can give you than just to do it. And then it's not even like if I wanted to, I could honestly give you an answer. I want to sit here and make this fucking thing like these are the exact steps you need to do to most optimally start your YouTube channel, but honestly I would just be lying. It's all I would be doing. I would not be accomplishing fucking anything by just telling you that. Other than getting myself views, I'm trying to actually fucking tell you what to do. And it's just to do it. There's no correct way to do it. You just have to do it. Learn what's wrong. And then when you start doing it, figure out how you can make it better. And try to take steps towards making it better. Every video trying to make it better than the last. And that's kind of the generic stuff I tell people, but it feels shitty for me to say that. It feels shitty to tell every single person who comes to me, just fucking do it. Because that feels like a half-assed answer, and I feel like it doesn't actually get people to go out and do it. And I personally struggled with that, right? It's like, okay, if people are going to come to me like, how do I start a YouTube channel? And then if I just tell them, oh, you just have to do it. And once you start trying to make every video better than the last, because I've had an influx of new subscribers, if you want any sort of help on like me criticizing your YouTube channel, trying to help you make it better, my DMs are open. This is something I've been doing for a while. It's helped me learn personally a lot also, and I actually enjoy doing it quite a bit. I think a massive reason too, as to not take it seriously, is because it's like you're going to a casino in such a way that if you try to do it in the most optimal way, all you're going to do is you're going to get upset when you lose, right? If you play poker or if you play blackjack and you try to play your hand the most optimally possible, the majority of the time, the house is going to win. And that's a lot how YouTube is, right? It's this massive luck factor, and the majority of the time, you're going to get unlucky. So, just have fun. Just have a good time doing it. And there's also something I want to say too on some advice I've tried to say elsewhere, is that I see people like, oh, just go spam your link around, try to self-promote like crazy. I can tell you that that is the worst possible thing to do. I'm not saying self-promotion is innately bad, just don't do it through being a spammy piece of shit. And I'm not even talking about botting, which is a really big issue on YouTube right now, is self-promotion bots. Like the whole Tim accounts you'll see under every channel, I fucking hate them. That's not even what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is when you're like, oh, trying to get everyone to watch your channel, because you also have to realize like you want to develop an audience, and what you're doing is you're just trying to hook people in. That's your only thing, and you're not actually worried about the content you're making at all. Well, I think trying to get your name out there is important. I think you need to focus on actually making good content way before you actually get around to the promotion part. And actually getting your name out there. Because what are you hooking people into is a really good question you need to ask yourself. And I want to say this too while I'm giving some things I've been asked a lot. I think the thing I have told people most often too, once they start and they're a small YouTuber, is do not feel entitled for people to watch you. And I think this is easy for me to say. I realize I have a bias because now I have some sort of audience that watches me. But don't feel entitled for people to watch you. A lot of times people will be working hard and they'll be making good content. They'll be doing well. But the issue is that they're almost always doing something wrong. You have to realize that people have reasons they're watching other people more than you. And you have to have that competitive nature. You can't feel like you deserve what those people have. You have to have the motivation to work towards what they have. And so often that entitlement, I feel like, is the biggest issue I've seen out of any sort of small creator, is that they feel like they deserve it, and they don't. That's the honest fucking truth. Now, I should say, I'm almost an adverse effect, where I don't feel like I deserve a lot of what I have gotten. I feel like there's a lot better people out there doing what I do, and I've gotten very lucky. And I'm, for the most part, speaking about the majority, is that if you're doing well, most of the time, it's because you deserve it. And if you're doing poorly, most of the time, it's also because you deserve that. But that's fucking okay. That's fine. Just improve. Worry about making your fucking content better. Because if you're making good content, people will naturally come to fucking watch it. You can't make garbage fires forever. You're just gonna go nowhere. You just focus on improving what you make and naturally people will come. So, yeah, I feel like that concludes the important things I feel like I could mention. Once again, as soon as I upload this video, I'm gonna be live over at twitch.tv/JesterJones. Feel free to go hi. Feel free to come say hi. But regardless, peace gamers. Have a good one.